All right, so I have some burning questions from some of the students today. So, ask Chancellor, where did Chancellor Brinkman grow up? Well, I grew up in Waterford, Wisconsin, which is a small town in western Racine County, but I also grew up in Marinette County where we had some hunting land and we went fishing and boating and all of that stuff on a lake called Cauldron Falls. Where did Chancellor Brinkman go to college and what did he study? I went to another school in Wisconsin called UW Oshkosh and I studied geology. I also went and did my master's at UW Milwaukee and my PhD at the same institution. Where did Chancellor Brinkman work before UWSP? I was the Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences at Northern Illinois University in DeKalb. Where did Chancellor Brinkman go on his most recent vacation? You know, I have an 84-year-old mother-in-law that lives with us, so we don't vacation very much because it's hard to get her to travel with us. But the last big vacation we took was to Bulgaria, and it was great. So where did Chancellor Brinkman go out to eat? Well, I have to tell you, I love to go to diners. I spent a lot of time in New York area, New York City, Long Island, and they have the best diners in the world. And I've been having fun exploring the local diner scene here in Stevens Point. So where did Chancellor Brinkman shop for his wardrobe? Oh my gosh. Well, this was at the bookstore. I love getting UWSP stuff at the bookstore here on campus. And the rest of it, who knows? I buy a lot of my stuff at used clothing stores, frankly. Does Chancellor Brinkman, I'm worried about these, have any hidden talents? Let me see there. I play piano a little bit, and I'm pretty handy around the house. I like to do some woodworking, work on the yard. I love to garden, those kinds of things. Have any pets and what are their names? I have two Whippets. They're dogs that are very fast racing dogs, but they don't race. I don't put them in competition or anything like that. And their names are Cairo and Luxor. Have any advice for incoming students? Get involved on campus. Go to class and get lots of rest and exercise every day. Have any siblings? Yes, I grew up in a family of 6 kids. I'm the youngest of 6. Unfortunately, 2 of my siblings have passed on, but 3 others are still with us, and 2 of them live in Wisconsin. One lives in Germantown, Wisconsin, which is just north and west of Milwaukee, and another one lives on Browns Lake, right outside of Burlington. Prefer Culver's or Quick Trip? Can I have both? Really? I mean, I would like to have Culver's for the obvious thing, which is the custard. But for Quick Trip is really great for just something quick to eat when you're really starving. I have to work late here on campus and be around this beautiful place and have to run and get something quick to eat on the way home. So I think both. Speak any languages other than English. I have to tell you, I love learning new languages. When I was in college, working on my master's and PhD, I always took language courses. And so I speak a little bit of French, a little bit of Italian, but the one I speak the most is Spanish because we speak it at home. Chévere. Chévere is, it's a uniquely Venezuelan thing that means cool or great or that's wonderful. So if you ask somebody how they're doing after work or something like that, you say, chévere. Okay, this one is, what is Chancellor Brinkman's favorite food to cook? Boy, I would have to say, I make a really good paella on the grill, which is phenomenal. It's kind of unusual to do it in a grill. A lot of people do it inside. But I really like French cooking. I learned watching TV from Wisconsin Public Radio when I was a little kid, watching Julia Child on TV all the time. Coffee order. It is an oat milk latte. That's my order. I'm sticking with it. Don't talk me out of my oat milk latte. Favorite thing about UWSP so far? I love the way the campus looks in the summertime. It is so beautiful. Everything is in bloom. People are walking around, everybody has a smile on their face. It's fantastic. Now, of course, I can't wait for all the students to be back though. favorite outdoor activity is definitely hiking. I love to spend time outside. I love getting exercise. I always feel an uplift in my spirit after I spend time in the out of doors. It's the best. And if you ever see me around, say hi, because I always love to talk to people when I'm hiking. Favorite quote? I would say, I choose life, which is what I say every time I get on an airplane. When I walk on an airplane, I find I don't like flying, so I always say, I choose life, so I know I'm going to survive that plane ride. Zodiac sign. Well, anybody who knows me knows I'm a Virgo. I'm a true Virgo. I am kind of somebody who likes to have my own way. I like to have things done a certain way. And if there are any Virgos out there, you know what? You're born with it. You're dealing with it. So you got to live with it. And they've got to live with you too. So be nice to them. Okay, what is Chancellor Brinkman? I don't know what this is going to be. Watching on TV or streaming. I'm watching this old soap opera series called Dark Shadows on Prime. You can find it on Prime. It is the worst storyline. It is, the cinematography is terrible, but it's so much fun because it's so goofy and it's just completely an escape from reality because it's so dumb. What am I reading? I am reading, check if this works. Yes, we're working. Well, good afternoon, fellow pointers and friends. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. You know, you might have heard a little bit about me on that little bit of video beforehand, and learned some of those pastimes. But for those of you who don't know me, and I've not had the pleasure of meeting, although I try to meet almost everybody coming in. My name is Bob Brinkman, and it's truly my honor to serve as the 16th Chancellor of UWSP. So thank you for that honor. Thank you. I want to extend a warm welcome to our dedicated faculty, staff, and students and alumni, as well as our elected officials and community partners joining us in person and virtually. Those of you watching from your offices or at home, howdy out there. For some of our special guests here today, Representative Vinnie Moresi is here. Pete McPartland is here with a team from Century. We're so grateful for all the support of Century and Pete over the years. Along with Kaylin Pempek is here as well from Century. We're so grateful for everything that you do to support our university. Ray Ackerlin, the president of Skyward, is here. Where's Ray? Oh, there we are. Thank you. And representing Sanford Health Marshfield Clinic, Jay Schrader and Tricia Mayak are here. There they are. Thank you for being here. Donna Roser, Wood County Alderperson and University Commission member. Is Donna here? And I think she might come in a minute late. James Levin with the City of Marshfield, I think might be here. But I know Michael Whitty is here, President of Portage County Business Council. Thank you for being here. Great seeing you this morning. And Dr. Shelley Mondyke, a great partner and the president of Mid-State Technical College. Thank you for your partnership and all that you do to be a great partner with UWSP. Thank you, Shelley. All right. I also want to recognize my husband who's here, Mario Gomez. Stand up, Mario. Come on. And of course, the person I forgot to mention in the elected officials is somebody who is one of the first people I met at Stevens Point. You know, we have this tradition of the 4th of July parade in the city, and it's a wonderful event. And it was the very first thing I did publicly as the chancellor of this university. And I got out of my car, and the first voice I heard was this big booming voice that said, "Chancellor!" And it was Mayor Mike Wisdom. Mayor, thank you for everything you do in support of this university. Thanks for your friendship. Well, as a brief aside, yesterday we announced the naming of the Pete McPartland Executive Boardroom with Century Hall, which will serve as a hub for the Century School Business Advisory Council and other executive level meetings, student group discussions, faculty collaborations, and more. And we also announced the establishment of the Future Leaders Program within the Century School for high potential students. What a great gift for us, and thank you so much, Pete, and the Family Foundation for everything that you do for the university. It's really amazing. Also, before I begin my remarks, I also want to express my deepest gratitude to Pratima Gandhi for her steady leadership and exceptional service to this institution as interim chancellor. Yeah. Where are you, Pratima? Oh, there you are. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Pratima's been such a great partner as we've moved ahead over the last couple of months, and I just can't thank you enough for everything that you've done to support me, to support Mario, and everything that you continue to do to support this university in your current role as Vice Chancellor for finance and everything else you do, plus the work you're doing in student affairs. So thank you so much. In other administrative news, we're nearing the finalist stage in our provost search. The search has attracted excellent response with great candidates from around the country, and finalists will be announced soon, with campus forums to be held in mid-September. And my sincere thanks to Marty Loy for filling this intern role in academic affairs. Thanks, Marty. I was going to offer to wrestle him to stay on an extra semester, but I know I would lose that battle given his background. In other administrative, but what I really want to do today is to share a message, one simple message. We are strong as a university because our people are strong. Our next era will be defined by student, faculty, and staff success, regional partnerships, sustainability, and a shared commitment to helping every pointer discover their purpose. Now, as I stand before you today, nearly 2 months into my service as your chancellor, I do so with humility, gratitude, and real optimism about the future. As you know, my roots are here in Wisconsin, where I learned the values of hard work, community, stewardship, and public service. And those values shaped my life. And they are the same values I see every day at this university, across central Wisconsin, and across the state. This university is the beating heart of the Wisconsin idea. Our impact does not stop at the edge of campus. It flows outward like water, reaching communities throughout Wisconsin and beyond. Now, as you can imagine, returning to Wisconsin has been deeply meaningful to me. It's a true homecoming to the state where my own academic journey first began. And many of you know that I grew up in Racine County, in western Racine County in Waterford, graduated from Waterford High School, and spent almost every weekend in summer of my youth in the woods along the rivers at my family's cabin and hunting land in Marinette County. I'm the little guy with the striped shirt in the upper left picture there. And spending my childhood on farms and in the forests and on the water gave me a profound appreciation for the natural world, a spark that ignited my lifelong passion for geology, geography, and environmental sustainability. And I distinctly remember my first semester as an undergraduate at UW-Oshkosh. Coming from a rural background, you can imagine what my experience was like. I didn't understand the vast horizon of opportunities a university could offer. But that fall, my eyes were open to the fact that my opportunities were truly endless. I leaned into everything available, taking a wide variety of courses, joining clubs, and attending every lecture and performance I could. Importantly, I learned that these transformative experiences didn't just happen by accident. They were the result of dedicated faculty and staff working tirelessly to support students. That realization is the bridge that connects my past to my role here. It's why I have committed my career to higher education to ensure that our students always come first in every decision we make. The universities of Wisconsin changed the trajectory of my life, and as chancellor, I'm dedicated to ensuring that UW-Stevens Point remains a place where every student can discover and actualize their own purpose. When I was considering the opportunity to serve as your chancellor, what appealed to me most was the unmistakable soul of this university. I've always loved central Wisconsin. Its stunning natural beauty, the abundant wildlife, and the endless outdoor activities. But more than that, our university has a deep commitment to conservation, environmental sciences, community engagement, and wellness. And those resonated with the very core of who I am. And my academic life has been dedicated to karst geology, hydrology, and sustainability science. And I've spent decades conducting research aimed at practical solutions to complex environmental challenges. And UW-Stevens Point has already done pioneering, nationally recognized work in sustainability. But sustainability is not a static goal we reach and check off a list. It's an active lens through which we should view every aspect of our institution. As we enter this next era together, I want to challenge every student, faculty member, and staff member to put on this sustainability lens, whether we're talking about a multi-million-dollar campus facility or the small everyday choices we make in our offices and classrooms. Our unique heritage of stewardship is our greatest strength, and together we'll build a more resilient, sustainable future. And that stewardship is already taking root in students like Braden Banks, a 2026 graduate who defined his purpose through an interdisciplinary path that combined 5 minors and 3 certificates in support of a career in conservation policy. His environmental advocacy took him to the Mississippi River with the Living Lands and Waters Project for 3 consecutive years, and it earned him both the David Obey Young Adult Civic Engagement Award and the Albertson Medallion. You know, our collective strength matters because higher education is navigating intense pressure nationally, here, and at home. Universities across the country face demographic shifts, financial constraints, political pressures, and rapid technological disruption. And those challenges are real, but I don't want them to define who we are. What I've seen in my first 60 days here is a powerful counter-narrative to what's happening around the country. UWSP is demonstrating every single day that regional comprehensive universities are the mechanisms that inspire, elevate, and transform the lives of countless individuals and their families. We are doing it through innovative instruction, meaningful partnerships, student-centered engagement, and most importantly, optimism. And while we must clearly understand the challenges ahead, we can't be paralyzed by them. We have to define this era for ourselves. Our strength lies in our collective commitment to our mission, our dedication to our students, and our support for one another and our resilience. I'm incredibly proud to say today that the state of UW-Stevens Point is strong and getting stronger because of the work you all are doing at this institution every single day. One of the most visible measures of this momentum is enrollment, and I'm sure you're all curious how we're doing. And you know, last year, we had the largest first-year class in the last 40 years, and I'm very pleased to say that our initial estimates show that we may have our second largest first-year class on the main campus in more than 40 years this coming fall. And I think that deserves a round of applause for all of you, for all the work that you've been doing. And that momentum becomes real in the lives of our students this weekend. Our new first-year students will move into their new homes on the main campus on Saturday, and our returning students will be back this Sunday to meet new neighbors, reconnect with friends, and begin another year as part of the larger Pointer community and part of the Stevens Point community as well. I want to thank the Housing and Residential Life team for providing a welcoming and safe environment for our students to live, work, and grow. I also want to recognize the entire Division of Student Affairs for their exceptional work and dedication to all our students. Their efforts are essential to helping students feel connected, supported, and ready to succeed. So thank you all. I know that you're here. And this growth didn't happen by accident. You know, during the 25-26 recruitment cycle, Our campus visit programs reached historic attendance. We hosted the largest admitted student days in our history, and our preview day events saw the highest attendance since 2022. These visits are the front door of the UWSP experience, and all of you are part of our living room here on campus that they get to experience when they come on board. We're also reaching more prospective students across the country using targeted, data-driven recruitment. We're preparing the future by focusing in on not just the traditional student, but also on adult learners. We're continuing to focus on international engagement and actively investing in those who have served our country. And this past year, we took a meaningful step forward by adding a second Veterans Services staff member to better support our military-affiliated students. So I think that's great news. Now, at UW-Stevens Point, growing enrollment is only half of the equation. Our success also depends on helping the students we enroll stay, thrive, and graduate. Retention is a campus-wide priority, and we are seeing that shared commitment pay off in meaningful ways. Pointers Way will begin, actually has begun this academic year as a proactive program that provides personalized success plans and first-year agreements to help students build a strong academic foundation during their first 3 semesters. And our 5-year federal TRIO support services grant will provide tailored resources for 140 first-generation low-income or disabled students, helping remove barriers to college completion. We also continue to lead the UW system in student engagement with the Mantra Whole Campus Care program, expanding access to virtual therapy, psychiatry, and anonymous peer support communities. We're also investing in practical supports that meet students where they are. Our emergency aid team, and this is an amazing program, it distributed $106,000 to students facing urgent financial hardships. And every student who reached out was connected with university resources, whether or not they received the direct funding. And over the last 2 years, 96% of students who received emergency aid funding persisted to the next term or graduated, and that is an amazing statistic. We see that same commitment reflected in students like Marcia Azimi, a first-generation college student, double majoring in finance and business administration. Through her work as a UWSP brand ambassador, Smiley professional events intern, and financial literacy peer advisor, Marcia turned leadership into service by helping fellow students build confidence with budgeting, credit, and everyday financial habits. Her commitment to showing up for others recently earned her the Tommy G. Thompson Leadership Scholarship, and she plans to carry that same purpose into the investment sector while continuing her nonprofit, CETA Empowerment, which advocates for women in crisis. In University College, we have strengthened our culture of undergraduate research and experiential learning through the Undergraduate Research and Scholarly Activities program. And last year alone, we awarded about $50,000 to support student research fellowships, conference travel, and poster printing. We also improved the travel application process and committed to hosting the UW Research Symposium in 2027. And let me be clear, recruitment and retention are campus-wide priorities, and our faculty and staff in all divisions across the university are keys to advancing our goals. Thank you for your work and for your continued engagement in these efforts. So thank you all very much. I want to talk about the Wisconsin idea for a second. You know, the Wisconsin idea is the guiding principle that public higher education institutions extend their impact beyond the classroom walls. And by doing so, we actively improve the lives of Wisconsinites and address practical challenges to serve our citizens and communities directly. To do this, we must constantly evolve, and we have over the years. And over the last year, we have innovated in teaching, learning, and workforce development. For example, this summer we welcomed the first cohort of our new doctorate in language and literacy program, which empowers educators to lead change. By the summer of 2028, our currently shared Doctor of Audiology will be our own independent program. And with these additions, the number of doctoral degrees at our university will total 4, which is the most of any UW comprehensive universities. We've also created a new sports program, and I saw where's the 2 faculty in sports business? I saw there they are. Thanks for being here, you guys. We've also created a new sports business program that will begin this fall, launched a bachelor's degree in AI to keep pace with the modern economy, and established the Institute for Behavioral Health and Wellness Training. Now, earlier this week, our online Master of Social Work program received approval to offer a school social work pathway, sorry about that, directly addressing a critical statewide shortage in which only 39% of Wisconsin schools districts currently have a school social worker. So it's a real workforce need throughout the state. And these programs, alongside the vital work of the Wisconsin Forestry Center, we were talking about that all morning, and our continuing education partners, ensure that we are meeting Wisconsin's workforce needs head on. Our continuing education programs are also expanding their reach and impact. And in this last fiscal year, our non-credit gross revenue increased by 17.6% to more than $3.4 million, and our programming served more than 20,000 individuals, and that helps keep us strong as well, and we're so grateful for all the work being done in that space. These successes show how UW-Stevens Point turns academic strength into practical solutions for students, employers, and communities across the region. And to sustain our momentum and ensure our long-term viability, we've made the tough, responsible decisions necessary to align our finances for future growth. We're actively matching our budget with our core university mission by implementing multi-year planning, improving budget stability, and increasing transparency in our shared fiscal goals. And I'm pleased to report that we have a balanced university-wide budget for this fiscal year, and I think that deserves a round of applause because that is not normal. Now, I will say it might be normal for here, but it is not normal across the United States for a university to balance its budget so well. So congratulations to everybody involved with that. And this accomplishment does mean undertaking significant, complex operational reviews, such as navigating the highly competitive RFP process for our banking and bookstore services, which successfully yielded a new partnership with Valora Campus and a continued contract with U.S. Bank to optimize our campus operations. And by facing these structural challenges head-on and making disciplined, strategic choices today, we're protecting affordability, securing our fiscal health, and ensuring that every resource we steward is a direct investment in the success of our students and the future of our 3 campus locations. Now, our financial work is reinforced by the important activity going on at the state level. You might have heard that on October 20th, the Universities of Wisconsin Board of Regents approved the 27-29 operating budget request proposal, which is a forward-looking plan with significant implications for our future. Anchored in commitments to expand access, strengthen the workforce, and advance health discoveries, the proposal includes a four-year tuition pledge that would freeze tuition for the 27-29 biennium. And for UWSP students, that freeze would help protect affordability and help keep public higher education accessible. Affordability would also be supported by the Wisconsin Work and Learn Last Dollar Aid program for lower income students, which would strengthen our retention efforts and complement the aid from programs such as the federal TRIO grants. The budget request will be submitted for consideration by the governor and the state legislature in 2027. Hello. And as we work to secure a vibrant future for our campuses and communities. And last week, you might have seen on campus, we had President Kyle Weatherly, Region President Kyle Weatherly, and Interim President Renee Wachter on our campus for a press conference to highlight the affordability component of the budget request. And we were grateful to host them and show the great work we are already doing in that affordability space. Now, overall, our disciplined financial choices are already showing up in visible ways. When you walk across our campuses, the physical signs of our progress are everywhere. I know you see it. And this past fall, we celebrated the grand opening of the Health and Wellness Center, which led to a 53% increase in weekly unique visitors to Dog Fitness. And what a beautiful facility that is. And this past spring, we opened the doors to the incredible Kirby Library and Student Resource Center, which saw 1,600 visitors on that very first day of service. It's such a great space. And this summer, we also cut the ribbon on the state-of-the-art Wisconsin Institute for Sustainable Technology Compostability Testing Laboratory. It is one of only 2 academic labs of this kind in our country, and only one of only 7 in the country approved by the Biodegradable Products Institute. Now, looking ahead, the transformation of the Collins Classroom Center into Century Hall and the Coleman Track Replacement Project began in earnest this summer. Furthermore, the fully privately funded Olson Museum of Natural History is continuing to undergo a physical transformation with renovations nearing completion for several habitat domains. Now, I have to say, I know that the campus is a little beat up right now with all of these construction projects, but we are so lucky to have them going on. I have been to many other campuses around the country, and they would envy all of the work happening here in Stevens Point. But I also want to remind you that we really are a true regional university with a footprint that extends beyond the boundaries of Stevens Point. We do not do our work in a vacuum. We're deeply entwined with our community. For example, our collaboration with Sanford Health Marshfield Clinic recently earned a prestigious University of Wisconsin's Business Partnership Award. And this decades-long relationship is crucial to the ongoing health and economic vitality of central Wisconsin. And that partnership supports our School of Health Science and Wellness by hosting 70 to 80 UW-Stevens Point students each year for hands-on clinical education and internships. Plus, the clinic provides $60,000 annually in student scholarships, which fuels our Health Scholars Program and supplies dedicated athletic training staff to support our UWSP student athletes. Ultimately, by working together, we are successfully building a vital workforce pipeline that expands our educational pathways and improves the overall health and well-being of our rural communities. And I know that folks from the Sanford Health Marshfield Clinic are here today, so thank you so much for that partnership. We really appreciate it. In Marshfield, we are incredibly proud of the Marshfield Pure Grow Project, a groundbreaking collaboration between UW-Stevens Point at Marshfield, the Marshfield Clinic region of Sanford Health, and Fork Farms. The cutting-edge indoor hydroponic system right on our Marshfield campus sustainably grows nutrient-dense products year-round. And this tackles food insecurity by providing fresh, local food to patients, clinic staff, and underserved members of our central Wisconsin community. It also sets a new standard for population health innovation while simultaneously providing our students with invaluable hands-on experiences. We're grateful for that. And UW Marshfield is also investing in its community through a $2 million grant that will renovate the Helen Connor Laird Building, continuing a legacy of community theater and the arts on into the future. The Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation grant was supported by state legislators and Marshfield area administrators who will work together to manage the grant and work to renovate the main theater, Black Box Theater dressing room, and other areas. They're also lending support to the project by bringing more productions to the Laird stage. So lots to happen in Marshfield in the coming years ahead. In addition, this year we mark our 20th anniversary of our one-of-a-kind Northern Aquaculture Demonstration Facility, or NADF, in Bayfield. As really a unique facility in the Midwest, NADF has spent decades of advancing applied research, demonstration, and education in sustainable aquaculture. And by partnering with private industry, state and federal agencies, and tribal hatcheries, NADF is addressing pressing natural resource needs while preparing students for careers in fisheries and aquaculture. I also want to highlight the vital relationship that we have with the Red Cliff Band of the Lake Superior Chippewa. Because the facility is located on Red Cliff tribal land, NADF is uniquely positioned to collaborate on applied research projects that advance natural resource priorities important to both the Red Cliff community and our university. Now, last fall, we announced a new partnership with North Central Technical College that would relocate our UWSP at Wausau campus to NTC to share space, advising, and amenities while offering more educational opportunities to students in the Wausau area. This new innovative model for higher education creates pathways through partnerships to offer associate's, bachelor's, and master's degrees with coordinated advising, streamlined transfers, and expanded access to faculty, student services, and resources. This relationship has been years in the making with collaborative programs such as the 1+2+1 nursing program and various others. And we can accomplish more together when we maximize public investments while increasing educational pathways. Classes already began there this week, and I had the privilege of meeting with NTC President Jeannie Worden to discuss our collaboration and how we could continue to build a stronger future for our region together. A perfect personification of our co-location partnership is Wausau student Samiris Tao, who found crucial support in her future path while attending both NTC and UW-Stevens Point. By utilizing coordinated advising and streamlined transfers, students like Samiris navigate their educational journeys with confidence. Her success is the ultimate testament to how maximizing public investment and building cross-institutional pipelines directly empowers our students to discover their direction and secure their future careers. Now, that regional access matters deeply for students like Laura Slowicki, who returned to UW-Stevens Point in Wausau as a non-traditional student and mother, and recently graduated with a double major in social work and sociology. Over an 8-year journey marked by dedication, perseverance, and 5 years of sobriety, Laura immersed herself in campus life and community through the Cupboard Food Pantry, Student Government Association, Wausau Marathon County Shelter, Adult Protective Services, and her work as a licensed abuse counselor. Her resilience and commitment to supporting vulnerable populations earned her the Chancellor's Leadership Award, and we're really, really proud of Laura and all that she has done. Now, beyond economic development, we are also serving our community's cultural and civic heart. This spring, our vocal faculty and students took a family-friendly outreach opera, Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf, on the road, performing for thousands of pre-K through middle school students across central Wisconsin. UWSP truly is the heart and soul of the Wisconsin idea. And that same commitment to serving our region is visible not only in our partnerships, but also in the initiative and creativity of our students. And you might have heard of the Take the Crazy Waste project, which takes classroom learning directly out into our neighborhoods. A simple project by 2 waste resource students had become a major community-focused initiative with 7 student organizations. They combined hands-on cleanup work with public education, waste management, and with our student leaders were helping local residents understand how litter impacts our parks, our neighborhoods, and our downtown. And this summer, that initiative grew into the highly successful community cleanup series that brought students and families together on Saturday mornings to restore local landmarks like Mead Park, Iverson Park, and Zenoff Park in downtown. These kinds of initiatives, in part that we do with UWSP and others that we do with our partners in the technical college, together we exemplify that Wisconsin idea. And this is the heart and soul what it means to be a pointer. Like the rivers that connect central and northern Wisconsin, Our work moves through many channels: classrooms, businesses, forests, farms, theaters, laboratories, and community partnerships. And each current carries our mission outward, strengthening our people and places we serve. Our College of Fine Arts and Communication continues to perform on the national stage. We're the only university in the state to have all of its 5 fine arts programs nationally accredited, and our Pointer Studio students placed at the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Awards. Our graphic design students brought home gold and silver Addy Awards, while the UWSP Central Standard Time Vocal Jazz Group won a highly prestigious Downbeat Magazine Student Award against a global competition. And our students are extending their creative excellence into research that makes learning more inclusive. For example, Nathan Edwards translated his passion for music into a piece called Unmuted: Adaptive Music Education for an Inclusive Future, a project that represented the College of Fine Arts and Communication at Research on the Rotunda and reflected the power of the arts to expand access, belonging, and participation. Another exceptional example of how our faculty translate professional success into powerful student mentorship is Kevin Obsatz, an assistant professor of media studies. Kevin, are you here today? I didn't see him. Anyway, Kevin came to UWSP in 2021 after a successful career working on documentaries, commercials, and mainstream television shows that you might have seen, like Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. And he collaborated with local film company called Rad Productions USA to write an Action Pass brand film for one of our great business partners, Gamber Johnson. Their outstanding work won a Midwest Emmy Award for Best Commercial, our students. And for Kevin, the true value of this achievement is showing our students that they do not have to leave Central Wisconsin to build world-class careers in film. He consistently leverages his professional network to connect students with hands-on internships and freelance production opportunities right here in our region. He's a perfect example of our world-class faculty preparing our students for a vibrant, creative future. Now, I have to tell you, our students, athletes, are a tremendous point of pride for me. And this past academic year, they achieved a remarkable cumulative GPA of 3.29, an increase from the previous year. And more than 75% of our student athletes earned a 3.0 or higher, and 112 achieved a perfect 4.0. And I have to give that a round of applause. So congratulations to them. You know, this culture of excellence is supported by modern and well-maintained facilities and driven by the meaningful interactions between faculty, staff, coaches, and students. But speaking of our facilities in athletics, you might have heard that one of our own students took it upon himself to create an updated space for our Pointer athletics teams. Jack Ludke, an interior architecture major and defensive back on our football team, completely redesigned our football locker room. He used 3D modeling software. He mapped out a stunning space for up to 150 players. He navigated real-world budget constraints. He enlisted an alumni-owned construction company to build the facility, and he used his teammates for demolition, which I think they could handle. Now, his drive, captured in the team's whatever it takes motto, led him to being hired full-time by an architectural firm before he even graduated. Now, our students take their commitment to academics and extracurriculars seriously, and the proof will stand with our football team locker room for decades. Now, UWSP Cornerstone Press had another tremendous year of honors, and they secured recognized over 20 titles for 2026, and the record-breaking streak of great work includes the National Indie Excellence Award for Short Fiction, the Eric Hoffer Best Academic Book Distinction, and a Nautilus Silver Medal in Poetry. And the same spirit of excellence is also visible in disciplines that help students build confidence, solve problems, and imagine futures they may not have seen for themselves. And to see this true lasting legacy of our academic mentoring, we don't have to look any further than Assistant Professor Ashley Pepper. Is Ashley here? Oh, there's Ashley. Hey, Ashley. Nearly 6 years after earning her own degree here in actuarial mathematics, Ashley returned to her alma mater ahead of the fall 2025 semester to join our Department of Computing and New Media Technologies. Now, in a full circle moment, she came back to teach alongside Dr. Andy Felt, the very professor who once mentored her as a student, preparing her to eventually take the reins of those same courses. Is that right, Ashley? It's so awesome. And this is the heart of what UW-Stevens Point is about. It's a place where professors don't just teach classes, they cultivate future leaders, thinkers, and as Ashley demonstrates, the future faculty of the university. So, well, thank you for your work. Our faculty research also does drive systemic change, and Doug Miskowiak, sorry Doug, are you here, Doug? Where's Doug? Is he here? There he is. Doug, I'm sorry I messed up your name. But Doug there, the chair of geography and geology and director of our GIS graduate certificate program, connects students with hands-on internships at our GIS center, mapping and analyzing data for external clients. And under his guidance, our student spatial research has driven policy changes at both the state and regional levels, including directly updated Wisconsin's farmland preservation laws, and even more remarkably, their mapping collaboration with the Marshfield Clinic revealed that breast cancer patients' distance from treatment directly impacted their health outcomes. And that helped shape clinic policy to improve rural care. So thank you for that work and for all the advocacy for your students. These are tangible examples of how a UWSP education goes far beyond the classroom to strengthen central Wisconsin and beyond. And the College of Natural Resources continues to serve as a premier national powerhouse, demonstrating that the stewardship of our environment is directly tied to the economic and ecological success of our state. You know, the Wisconsin Forestry Center partnered with state and tribal agencies to lead Forest Products Week, elevating the public conversation around Wisconsin forestry sector, which contributes a staggering $24.4 billion to our state's economy, a vital role in workforce development that drew a personal visit and recognition from Governor Tony Evers. And in our College of Professional Studies, we are proving that higher education can evolve to meet the most critical workforce needs of our state. We've launched groundbreaking academic pathways, including our new independent Doctor of Audiology program and an accelerated 3+2 Communication Sciences and Disorders graduate degree, cementing our status as a regional leader in healthcare education. Across every discipline, our professional programs are transforming student talent into vital community solutions. Upholding and expanding these standards of excellence requires the dedication of exceptional partners like our technical college partners and a high caliber advancement team. Now I will say at UW-Stevens Point, we are incredibly lucky to have robust support in both of these areas. And I want to talk about our advancement and development team for a second. Now, in June of 2025, we entered the public phase of our Discover Your Purpose comprehensive campaign with an ambitious goal to raise $100 million by 2028. That's an ambitious goal. 2028 off into the future. Well, I'm thrilled to announce that as of today, we've documented $98.6 million in cash pledges and estate gifts. And thank you, Will, for your exceptional leadership with all that you did. Through the incredible generosity of donors like Paul and Gail Kirby, who gave the largest alumni donation in our history, our foundation's total assets under management have grown to over $116 million, a 41% increase since 2023. We now have the fourth largest foundation assets in the universities of Wisconsin, and this is a remarkable change for you all and for us, and it's just exceptional. And why do these numbers matter? They matter because they translate directly to human potential. We achieved our goal of doubling annual scholarships to over $2 million. And last year, we added $3.7 million in program support. Philanthropy helps build our facilities, supports our world-class faculty, and provides long-term institutional strength. Most importantly, it gives our students the opportunity to discover their purpose, achieve their goal of a college education, and improve their lives. While we celebrate these massive wins, we have to candidly acknowledge the challenge we face and others that are ahead. We continue to face demographic shifts, affordability pressures, public skepticism, and of course, federal policy uncertainty. The projected enrollment cliff remains a serious concern, with Wisconsin, Illinois, and Minnesota expected to lose more than 6,000 high school graduates in our primary markets in 2026 alone. Furthermore, we are operating in an environment where 7 in 10 adults believe higher education is headed in the wrong direction. Compounding these student recruitment concerns is federal policy uncertainty and restructuring, bringing sweeping changes to federal student aid. And I want to give a special shout out to our financial aid office, who worked tirelessly over the last year through various system complications to protect student access. So if they're here, could you stand up, our folks in that office? It's a very difficult job right now, and we're also preparing for Generation Alpha. Generation Alpha is the first truly digital generation where students will come to us with high expectations for seamless experiences, deep concerns about mental health, and direct questions about the return of investments on the degree. And that same digital fluency should shape how we must respond to the rapid development of artificial intelligence. And I know that there's been a lot of conversations on this campus about this. But AI requires us to be agile and forward-looking, but I also think we have to balance innovation with the core university values that define UW-Stevens Point. We are well positioned to lead these conversations because artificial intelligence sits at the intersection of education, ethics, workforce preparation, and environmental responsibility. As AI grows, we must help students understand both its opportunities and its broader impacts, including the environmental challenges connected to emerging technologies. Now, these challenges are exactly why we must continue building a unified vision for the next era of UW-Stevens Point. Over the next academic year, our work will focus on student success, enrollment growth, financial stability, community engagement, sustainability, leadership, responsible innovation, campus identity, and a deeper culture of care. And these are all things that I pulled from the profile for the chancellor position and things that I heard from all of you during the interview. First, student success will remain our top priority. That means looking carefully at the full student experience. It means strengthening retention, helping students build measurable skills, and ensuring that every pointer leaves UWSP prepared to think critically, adapt confidently, and contribute meaningfully to the modern workforce. We will pursue sustainable growth by expanding our reach to adult learners, deepening international partnerships, and continuing to welcome students whose goals and life experience enrich this university. Second, we will align our budget with our mission. Budgets are not simply financial documents, but they're a statement of purpose and priority. As we move forward, we'll continue to make decisions that support long-term stability, multi-year planning, clarity, transparency, and a shared understanding of our institutional goals. And you'll hear more about the budget when Vice Chancellor Gandhi provides her State of the Budget address in the near future. Third, we'll deepen our commitment to community engagement. UWSP has a powerful tradition of service learning, civic engagement, and regional partnership. And in the years ahead, we'll build on that strength by pursuing opportunities such as the Carnegie Classification for Community Engagement. We'll strengthen our authentic and long-lasting relationships with community partners and enhance our relationship and work with tribal nations. Fourth, UW-Stevens Point will continue to lead in sustainability. Our commitment must be authentic, measurable, and visible in the way that we teach, research, operate, and serve. We'll continue to enhance campus sustainability in a myriad of ways and move forward to in areas of education, service, and others. Next, we must approach artificial intelligence with both energy and intention. AI will reshape how we learn, how faculty teach, how staff work, and how universities serve society. And we have an opportunity to lead because of our values-driven AI strategy that integrates these tools into our curriculum appropriately and into our operations while we protect the academic, ethical, environmental, and human-centered values that define us. Next, we will continue strengthening our campus identity and belonging. And we'll build on this power of Pointer pride by enhancing our campus look, our branding, and student engagement. We'll explore traditions and symbols, including what I am really looking forward to is developing a living mascot program to bring a living mascot back to UWSP to deepen our shared sense of place. And most importantly, we'll ensure that all students feel like they belong here, that they are seen here, that they have meaningful opportunities to engage with one another, with student organizations, and with the broader campus community. Finally, we will foster optimism and a community of caring. Our success is rooted in our people. That means prioritizing mental health resources, prioritizing wellness, building systems of mutual support, and creating a culture where every individual feels valued and empowered to succeed. In a time where higher education feels real pressure, optimism is tough. But optimism is not wishful thinking. It's a choice to act with confidence, care, and shared purpose. Now, these are broad goals that I heard from you, but we all need to work on it together and develop with all of you and our community stakeholders. And to that end, I've already embarked on a campus listening tour that will continue on into this fall to help shape these ideas and also to recognize that we're concluding the 5th year of a strategic plan that was put together by the previous fantastic chancellor that we had. It's time to think of a new strategic plan, and we'll kick off that process of planning in the next academic year. So in the current year, we will start thinking about what that process will look like and then move forward on into the future. So what have we heard today? We've heard that UW-Stevens Point is growing, innovating, transforming our campuses, deepening our community partnerships, preparing students for the future, and remaining faithful to our public mission. We've celebrated enrollment momentum, student and peer success, academic excellence, regional access, sustainability leadership, fiscal responsibility, philanthropy, and extraordinary people who make this university strong. But more than that, we have heard a story of purpose. Purpose is visible in the student who feels confidence through the first-year success plan, the faculty member whose research strengthens rural health or environmental stewardship, the staff member who quietly removes barriers for students every day, the donor who opens up doors for the next generation, and the community partner who sees UWSP not as a separate institution, but as a shared force for regional progress. The call before us is clear. We must choose optimism over cynicism, collaboration over isolation, and action over hesitation. We must continue to put students first, align our resources with our mission, strengthen our communities we serve, lead with sustainability, use innovation responsibly, and build a university culture where every pointer knows they belong. We are the center of Wisconsin, and we need to be at the center of defining the Wisconsin idea for this challenging era. I'm asking each of you to help shape this next chapter. Participate with me on the listening tour. Bring forward your ideas. Tell the stories of your students and the impact that you've had. Invite others into our work. Challenge us to be better and help us move from planning to action with the same care, creativity, and resilience that have always defined our great university. As I begin my service as your chancellor, I do so with a deep gratitude and great confidence. The waters of Wisconsin shape my own story and remind us how lasting change happens. One stream joining another, gathering strength, shaping the land, and moving steadily forward, always forward. The state of UW-Stevens Point is strong because our people are strong. And if we move forward together, forward, with purpose, with courage, and with care, our best days are ahead of us. Thank you all very much. Well, after that obvious conclusion to my speech, I have a couple more things to say. You might be thinking it's time to get up and grab some snacks, but I'm going to deviate from previous past addresses and open the floor for just a couple minutes for questions. I know some of you have to run. And this is your opportunity to ask me something that I brought up in my remarks or something completely different. But before we begin that, I also want to extend an informal invitation to my inauguration ceremony on Friday, April 23rd. Because it falls during Earth Week, I plan to build on that theme of water and the significance of water in our lives here in central Wisconsin as an overarching theme of that event. There'll be much more to share in that in the months ahead, but for now, there are a couple microphones. Feel free to raise your hand and ask some questions. There's one right there in the middle. I can repeat. I can hear and I can repeat.
Hi, thank you for your inspiration. I'm in the food and nutrition realm and particularly interested in sustainable food systems. So I really appreciated what you were saying about sustainability. I think what I'd like to know is what you see as our most immediate sustainability challenge that we have, kind of thinking out in 5 years and then maybe like a decade forward, just so that we have a sense of kind of your vision and then also how we can contribute to those ideas. Thank you.
I really appreciate that question. I am a systems thinker, and I think it's my training as a geographer and as a geologist to think as a system. And I've done a lot of consulting work over the years in the areas of sustainability, and the answer is all of it. We have to work on whatever our expertise that we bring to the table, let's bring it, because it all matters right now. We're facing multiple crises on different levels at different spaces. For example, we are seeing unusual challenges with global climate change right now. And so for some people who have expertise in energy and carbon, that's where they should work. You've got expertise in food and food systems. Let's get you going in that space. And everybody should bring what they have to the table. And if you don't have that expertise, support those who do. And I always like to say, if you could change yourself, you could change the world. And by making little changes in your life along the way, you're making a difference for all of us. Thank you for that question. There's one in the back, all the way in the back.
Chancellor, Jackie Guthrie from Academic and Career Advising. I'd like to know when we're getting a puppy and who gets to take care of the puppy.
I know, I can't wait to, you might know I'm a dog person. I've got 2 Whippets at home poor Mario, the Whippets they love Mario, but they really love me. They follow me everywhere. It's true, right, Mario? I can't do anything without them following me around. I love dogs. I can't wait to get that puppy too. So we're going to be working on that. Yeah.
Hi, Chancellor. Okay. Laura Bell, Enrollment and Marketing area. So I wanted to follow up and clarify. So you're going to be the puppy owner? Is that?
No. Well, the way that, just so I can explain how this works, I have studied how to do this the right way, so it's good for the animal, that we have ethical best treatment for the animal, as well as opportunities for as maximum engagement as we can on campus. So we will actually work to bring a trainer to be responsible for taking care of the dog.
Very cool. I had a question, though, about numbers. I really appreciate you highlighting the decline in high school enrollment in Wisconsin, Illinois, and Minnesota. And I just want to make sure everybody heard that number. It was 65,000 fewer high school grads over the next 15 years. So just wanted to thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, 65,000 fewer. Yeah. All right, well, it looks like it's time for our social reception out in the lobby. Thank you all so much for your attention for that very long speech. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.